Within the language of cinema, the shot consists of the units of speech, the context is the composition, and lastly the syntax is the editing. According to Richard Barsom and David Monahan in Looking at Movies, editing is the basic creative force of filmmaking. It is a process of selecting, arranging, and assembling the essential components of a movie, visual, sound, and special effects, to tell a story in a unique way. Stanley Kubrick says of editing, "Everything else comes from something else. Writing, of course, is writing, acting comes from the theater, and cinematography comes from photography. Editing is unique to film. It creates a new experience." Kubrick's emphasis on editing is very apparent in his 1968 film 2001: A Space Odyssey. It begins with silence and a black screen. The audience is forced to sit and let the film set its pace. No words are spoken until about half an hour through the film. This pace is necessary as the story is told predominantly through visuals. Roger Ebert says of the film, "But while it is there on the screen, you should simply let it happen to you. No questions, no whispers. Let the movie have its chance." Although unnoticeable to most viewers, editing provides 2001: A Space Odyssey with continuity through a thought-provoking rhythm, a well-thought-out content curve, and the use of graphic match cut. As the movie continues, through editing, the audience is led to believe that its underlying purpose might be to comment on the nature of man and how we have evolved. Through dynamic editing, Kubrick takes a shot of one of the primates during the dawn of man and shows his progression of dominating his world through the use of tools which might bring about destruction. It all leads to a flawless match cut of the bone the animal is using, as a tool being triumphantly thrown into the air, and transforming into a satellite in orbit 3 million years later. This pristine use of editing leads many audiences to conjecture about the meaning of the film and the relationship between what some would call our beginning and our coming future. Author Thomas Caldwell for Cinema Autopsy writes, "Kubrick seems to have an extremely mixed feeling about technology as it is frequently depicted as a threat to humanity. For example, the doomsday advice in Dr. Strangelove. As seen in the beginning, technology is used to kill for food and to kill for territory. Mixed feelings towards this new technology are expressed through editing, as 2001: A Space Odyssey is centered around having a sensory effect on its viewer. As shots of space and shuttles in orbit are shown, a waltz is played. The movement in the frame combined with the waltz and the well-timed cuts and shot duration give the impressions of the machines almost waltzing. Here the editing shows current and futuristic technology as a graceful and peaceful thing. Through editing in the first half of the film, viewers can conjecture about the relationship between man and technology, the statements made on the nature of man, and plenty more theories can be developed during the long scenes of silence. Roger Ebert, a prolific and esteemed film critic, said of the film, "In fact, it is a beautiful parable about the nature of man. Perhaps it is the nature of man not to wish to know too much about his own nature." Although profound on Ebert's part, Kubrick disagrees with all of the above conjectures. In an exclusive '87 interview with Rolling Stone magazine, the interviewer addresses Kubrick. "You feel the real question lurking behind all the verbiage is, what does this new movie mean?" Kubrick responds, "Exactly, and that's almost impossible to answer. Some people demand a 5-line capsule summary, something you'd read in a magazine. But if a film has any substance or subtlety, whatever you say is never complete. It's usually wrong, and it's necessarily simplistic. Truth is too multifaceted to be contained in a 5-line summary. If the work is good, what you say about it is usually irrelevant." The interviewer continues, "But you won't give us any easy answers." To which Kubrick responds, "That's because I don't have any easy answers." While there is no easy answer, it is almost impossible not to come up with one while sitting in silence watching the lingering yet effortless shots in 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is what editing is about, and as far as Kubrick is concerned, your understanding may be inspired, but it is irrelevant. Silence is for listening. If the work is good, it can speak for itself.